Okay, back to another fiction thriller. And this was a book which I really enjoyed. Read it several years ago, and it was also a TV series. And I've got a feeling I actually saw the TV series before I read the book, but the two follow very, very closely. I think that the author actually wrote the screenplay as well. And it's this book, The Hanged Man by Edmund Ward. Edmund Ward wrote several thrillers, and he was also very, very heavily involved in TV script writing. He created several series. The Plane Makers, if anyone remembers that, it was about a British aviation company, and so books like that. But The Hanged Man, the main character, Lou Burnett, worked in construction, first of all, just as a worker, and then as a foreman or a kind of roustabout on big construction projects all over the world, and then was able to amass his own construction company, and he had this global company that was making massive building projects all over the world. And he's there's a few near miss accidents around him, and then he suffers an accident where everyone thinks he's killed, and it's not an accident. It's a murder attempt made to look like an accident, an industrial accident. And he realizes that he's the target, and he goes off the grid to try to find out who's after him. At the same time, there's a chap who's an investigator for an insurance company, Alan Crowe, who thinks this is something dodgy about this, and he starts investigating. Now, Lou Burnett is quite a tough character, and he's survived a lot of fights in his career and so on. And Alan Crowe is a former army officer and mercenary. And there's a lot of mercenary characters in this book. The hitman who arranges the accidental killing was also a mercenary. And then Alan Crowe has some people he'd worked with in the past on mercenary contracts help him later on in the book. At the time, it seemed to be a thing to write about mercenaries. Wilbur Smith did it with Dark of the Sun, Frederick Forsyth with Dogs of War, and so on. There was the Wild Geese, things like that. It was quite a popular theme. Writing is excellent. There's a scene where Burnett and Crowe first meet, where there's a knife versus gun incident, which was very, very well done, both in the book and on TV. The TV is available on YouTube, and I'll put a link to it, and you can see it. I really enjoyed catching up on it, watching it again. Okay, it was made in the 70s, and the production values aren't as good as now. Colin Blakely played Lou Burnett, and I think it was his major role. The only other thing I remember him doing was playing a policeman in the Pink Panther. And Michael Williams played Alan Crowe, and he did it very, very well. And I think, as far as I know, Michael Williams is the husband of Judi Dench. But he portrayed this investigator very, very well. As I say, Edmund Ward wrote some other books which I read, and they were always well plotted, always full of technical detail. He understands certain types of activity and endeavour very, very well, and his plots are very, very well thought out and very well written. Again, The Hanged Man, really good read.